welcome to episode number 6 of the Sew Homey Podcast. My name is Abby, and I really want to thank you for joining me, whether you are new here or if you are returning. So this is a podcast where I share about both knitting and crochet because I really enjoy both and I can't decide on just one, so you will be getting the best of both worlds. And I like to release one episode per month, just because that's what I can manage right now. And I basically share with you all about the patterns that I have been working on. I give you some tips maybe on those patterns, and I also like to share about the acquisitions. But I am dabbling in the design world as well, so I will try to sprinkle in some of those, some of the things that I have learned, some of the things that I am working on, what I've struggled with. But yeah, that's kind of what you can expect here. So we can go ahead and get into today's episode. Now, if you see me glancing down, it's because I have my project journal, which also has my notes for the episode in it. So I apologize. I'll try not to do it too much, but I have all of the patterns and the things I want to talk about right here. Now, sorry, I've got to take a breath because I have been filming all day. I just finished a video where I was talking about crochet gift ideas for Father's Day. And that one, I'm not sure if it will be released before or after, but I'll make sure to add a card up here so you can find it easily if you're interested. But if I don't make sense at some point, or if my grammar is just completely awful, I do apologize. I'm a little tired and my voice, I need to break, but I really want to film this because this is mainly when I have time. I also say that, but I've been a little chattier. I noticed that filming the other one because I think it's because I haven't really spoken to anybody today, at least not in person. So yeah, I'm just trying to get my words in. I'm a girl. Leave me alone. I'm just teasing. But yeah, my boyfriend isn't here. I took him to the airport very early yesterday. He's playing a tournament in Chicago for the Chicago Chess Open or something like that. He has won his first 2 rounds, and I'm excited for him. I'm cheering him on from afar. I'm still here in Texas, the Panhandle area, and I'm very glad that we have sunshine today because it makes for filming so much easier. I film with my phone and I try to use the natural light from the window next to me, and yesterday it was overcast and it just did not look good. So I'm glad that there's sun shining right now, and yeah, I think it looks good. The only thing to note is I do apologize. I live by a very busy street, so if you hear any background noise, it's cars passing by, and I hope that you don't hear an ambulance because that happened yesterday. Or, sorry, there's a very loud car. You could probably hear that one. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. So, I think that's really all I wanted to say before we got started. So, let's go ahead and start with the finished objects. So, these are all of the items that I actually finished in the month of May. So, the first pattern is called Simple Toe-Up Socks, and it's by Carmen Yorison. And I talked about this pattern in a lot more detail in episode number 5. So if you're interested in the sock pattern, definitely go look at that episode and check out her videos. I will have her pattern listed in the description box below. That way you have very easy access to it. But if you watch the previous episode, you'll actually notice that this is what I was working on. This was one of my whips. And I did finish. So it's toe-up sock, like the name suggests. So you start from here and go up, then it's a German short row heel, and then you just work up the leg and finish with the cuff and a stretchy bind off. I am actually pretty happy with these. I wasn't sure if they would fit my boyfriend, but I actually did measure correctly, so I'm very happy that it does fit. He did try them on. I didn't get a picture though before he left. But yeah, I don't have a ton to say about this because I talked more about it in the previous episode, but I know that the self-striping yarn is a little odd to have as the different, like the color contrast. I wanted to try it, and also my boyfriend wanted matching socks, and the yarn that I had, which was this one, I had enough for a pair of socks for myself, and I used one full skein and then a little bit of the second skein I had, but I knew that that would not be enough yarn for his socks, so I gave him a couple of options, and basically we ended with this. I was going to try to use up all of the yarn because I wasn't sure. I still don't know if I have enough to make a pair of socks now with what I have, but what I was going to do was start from the toe up and then possibly finish with the heel. I didn't know if I would have enough of the colored yarn to do that, and then finish the leg and the cuff with this color. Now, I don't know why I thought of that, because it would look super weird. Well, I guess I do know. It's because I wanted to get rid of the yarn, like I was saying before. I wanted to get rid of it because I'm really trying to narrow down my stash without having to give it away, because I have a lot of useful yarns. I just want to use it all up before I get new yarns. But unfortunately, I just want to work on other projects that don't require that yarn. But anyway, that's for another topic. As I was saying, so I was going to do that, and then I was going to just use the leg and the cuff of this color, because my thinking was if anybody saw them while he was wearing the socks, they would just see this color rather than the very bright and vibrant oranges and pinks and blues and green. But I actually did try that. I started knitting, but I weighed the sock after I got to right above the heel, so just like the foot and toe portion, and unfortunately it wasn't enough to do with the same, or like with the other sock, so I ripped it all out and I decided that this would look better anyway. So that's why we have a heel, toe, and cuff with self-striping, very colorful yarn. All because he wanted matching socks. So this is what he gets, and I actually still have a few ends to weave in, but that's all that I am lacking on this project, and I'm very happy to be done with it. These actually worked up relatively quickly. I don't think I was working on them for that long. It was actually, I finished within a month, if not less than a month, so I'm really happy with the progress on that. And yeah, we'll go ahead and go on to the next finished objects. Now, this is actually a sneak peek into a collection that I want to release in June. I was trying to get everything done by today, like the end of today, early tomorrow, because I'm leaving tomorrow to go to the mountains for a week with my sister and maybe my brother. And I was trying to get everything done. Unfortunately, I don't know if I didn't prioritize enough or what happened, but I have a lot of it done, but not everything. So anyway, that's my own fault. But I did want to talk about this collection in the episode today, because I just have to talk about it. I'm so excited. So I'm calling it the Mary Jane collection, or the Mary Jane series, and it's a collection of 3 crochet patterns that I designed myself. They are all very small items, and basically I wanted to design this collection that was specifically for summer, because I feel like crochet and even knitting can get neglected whenever it gets hot outside. And I mean, for good reason, because you don't want to be working on a giant blanket or even a sweater sometimes in the middle of the heat waves, you know? So I totally get it, but I also think that crochet and knitting are not seasonal at all. So that's kind of where this collection started from. I just wanted to design something that would be a great project for the summertime. So I consulted my handy dandy Crochet Every Way Stitch Dictionary by Dora Orenstein. I'll add a link down below if you're interested. I highly recommend this book for anybody that likes to create their own patterns, for anybody that wants to design and sell their own patterns. It's really good whether, if you like to sell or not, it doesn't matter. I think that it's a really, really good book to have on hand because it has a lot of different stitch patterns, and she breaks them up by category. And then it just has so much information in it. It gives you the basic pattern, it tells you how to shape with it, it tells you the increasing and then the decreasing and how to shape with the stitch. So it gives you so much information, and that's my little plug. I don't know this lady, I don't know, but it says 125 different stitches or stitch patterns, and yeah, it's amazing. So I said all that to say that I consulted this book before I started designing because I honestly didn't know what I wanted to crochet. So I was looking through the stitch patterns and I came across, I'll try to show you without showing you. Okay, I can't show you like the actual, hopefully that doesn't show up. If it does, I'll blur it out. But this one is the one that I just stopped on. I was totally in awe of the stitch pattern. I just think it is beautiful, and it's called the Marguerite stitch, and it's also known as the star stitch, which I had actually seen before because I wanted to use it for placemats, and I was looking at circular placemats, but unfortunately the way that the stitch is, I don't know, I couldn't get it to work out, so I kind of nixed that idea. But so I had actually seen this stitch before, but whenever I saw it in this book, I don't know what it is, but I was just so inspired by it that was the stitch pattern that I wanted to use. So then it went from finding the stitch pattern to going through my stash and looking for a yarn that would work, because again, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to make. But I had a full skein of the Lion Brand Comfy Cotton Blend, and it was white or cream colored, I don't remember, and I don't have it because I used most of it, and I don't have the label, I don't know where it is, but I'll make sure to add the yarn below and have its information for you if you're interested. But it is a number 3 weight yarn, I do know that, or it's DK, and it's a 50% cotton blend with 50% polyester. And I just used that and I started crocheting a little swatch, and I noticed how thick it was, and immediately I thought of a pattern that I had seen before. Actually, that's not true. So immediately I thought of a sunglass case because I thought that the puffed stitch and the thickness of the fabric would be really good for protecting your sunglasses. But then I thought of a pattern that I had seen by DeBross, and I will show a picture because it's just very ingenious. I like this pattern a lot. Now she made a sunglass case, and I don't remember what it's called now. I did not write that down, I'm sorry. I will add it on the screen. But she made the sunglass case, and I think it came out last summer, I can't remember. But whenever I saw it on her Instagram, I was like, what is that thing at the top? It's so cool. It's called a metal flex frame or an internal flex frame, and they're used for purses. And I just remembered seeing that from last year, and so I immediately went to her page and I found it, and I was like, okay, this combined with the Marguerite stitch I think would look very good. And her pattern used canvas, and you basically just sew something, which I haven't purchased it, but it does look fantastic. So definitely go give that pattern some love if you like it. I'm not associated with her in any way. I just admire her from afar. But yeah, so I thought about that. So I immediately got onto Amazon and I ordered some flex frames. I luckily found some in the size that I wanted. So I was going to make the sunglass case out of the Marguerite stitch with the line brand yarn, and then I was going to attach the metal flex frame. But then my mind did not want to stop working. It kept going and going, and I was like, what if I make a purse? What if I make a coin purse? What if I make a pot holder? Like, all of these things just like kept coming to my head, and so I started crocheting and crocheting and crocheting, and it's something that you don't see on Instagram from designers. You don't see the process of how many you actually go through before you end up with the one that you want. And I'll show you that in just a minute. But I don't know, it was a lot of fun just to start crocheting and just letting your creativity go wild. I really had a blast with this. So I ended up with the 3 patterns. 2 of them I finished. The other one I'm still trying to decide on. That's kind of what's holding me up on actually releasing this collection. But let me go ahead and show you what it looks like, because I'm super excited. I'm going to put the book down. Okay, so you can see my little sunglasses back here. This is the sunglass pattern, or sunglasses case, sorry, it's not the pattern. So you can see the marguerite stitch, and then there is the flex frame. Let me grab my sunglasses. And you just open it like this and slide those sunglasses in, and then it just closes shut, and you have your sunglasses inside. It's so cool. And yeah, I just get so excited every time I see it because it was a lot of fun to make. But this is probably the most simple pattern. It's very easy. It's only 2 panels of the marguerite stitch, and then you attach the metal flex frame to the top by sewing it in there. You can kind of see that detailing, maybe if I show it correctly. But yeah, so I'm going to have the patterns all written separately, so they'll be available for purchase, each one separately. And I'm thinking about maybe doing a bundle as well if you want all 3 patterns, because they all feature the marguerite stitch, but they're all made in a slightly different manner. So that's the sunglasses case. This one is the MJ42, and I'm very happy about that one. And this is what I'm talking about with like that you don't see in like on Instagram. You only see like the finished product and how beautiful it is. But I'm about to show you what a mess it can be to be a crochet designer. So I had this idea that, this is actually what I started with the coin purse. So this is a coin purse. This is what I started with, basically the same as the sunglasses case. It was just 2 panels, and then I was trying to test which seaming technique I wanted to use. And I used the mattress stitch on this one, and then I tried the whip stitch, but I did it the wrong way, and I don't like that. I've been wanting to take it out. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but I still like the marguerite stitch, so it's crocheted in the same way as that one, like I said. But then my mind was like, hey, what if people don't have access to metal flex frames? What else could you use? You could use snaps, you could use buttons, you could use Velcro, I was thinking of like all of these options that you could do, and so I was like, well, maybe I'll make a tutorial for how to customize all of these things. And so that's just the way my mind works. I don't know. I just want to please everybody. That's really the thing. I want to please everybody, and I know that I don't have to. I actually did not add this in the pattern. I suggested if you can't find metal flex frames that the options that I just listed off, that those are available as well. And then if anybody wants to reach out and ask how you would do that, then I'm more than happy to do that. But yeah, for my own sanity, I wasn't sure how to include it in the pattern, and so I just didn't. Sorry for the loud cars. So yeah, I added a semicircle to the top of this one. I just crocheted it separately, sewed it on there, and then I ended up sewing that snap button on there. So that's kind of what it looks like. And I was also testing how the stitch works in the round rather than back and forth, because I thought it might be easier to do that. And then I also wanted to see what it looked like with a little base, like out of single crochets, just so you get a little bit of contrast here. And I ended up liking the contrast, but I did not like crocheting in the round with this stitch. It did work, but I didn't like the side that just looked super uneven. So I opted for, the way that this one was made, I opted for 2 panels and then whip stitching the sides together, and I just think it's a nicer look, and it's a lot sturdier as well, so that's why that one was chosen. But yeah, look at this. I have like all of these, and I ripped some of them out, and this was my final product, or yeah, I guess this was the final one. This is the one that I photographed. This was the first one that I finished, actually, and I'm very pleased with it. I really like it. Again, it has the flex frame. You just squeeze it, stuff things inside, and yeah, then you have a little coin purse. Oh, and I didn't stop there. I totally forgot. So my dad, I love him so much. He just wants to spread the word, and I really enjoy that. He's basically my salesman. He doesn't get a commission, but you know. He tells everybody about my things whenever there's a reason to, I guess. And so I guess he had a conversation with one of his coworkers, and his coworker wanted some. He really liked it. He requested that I make 4 of them. He has 3 daughters and a wife, and he wanted to gift them with one. And he told me to choose whatever colors I wanted. So I looked through what I had in my yarn stash, and I had some cotton. It's mainly cotton, and then it has a nylon in it. It's by Loops and Threads. I think it's creme cotton, something like that. I'll add that down below as well and on the screen. But I used this actually for a pot holder that I made last year, and I really like the coin purse idea better than the pot holder. I was thinking about ripping that out and actually making more more coin purses, just because yeah, I liked the look better. Oh, sorry. I'm a mess. I forgot to mention, this one is called the MJ43, and yeah, so that's that one, and I packaged it up already, all nicely. I was, oh my gosh, I have so much to say in this episode. I'm sorry if it's really long, and I hope that you don't find me rambling too much, but I want to mention this because I'm very new to this whole owning your own business kind of thing. I do have an Etsy shop. I have successfully sold a pattern, more than one actually, and I'm very happy about that. And like I said, I was commissioned to make these, so I have done some things, but I'm not like large enough where I have all of the packaging and all of that stuff. So the box is something that I was thinking about the other day because I wanted to do something cute for the packaging. I just wasn't sure what, and I really like recycling things. So I was trying to think of ideas. I Googled and watched a lot of YouTube videos on how you can make little boxes out of cardstock paper, which I have on hand. And so I was really thinking about it, and luckily I didn't try yet because whenever my boyfriend and I went to Costco, we bought these protein bars because he needed some snacks for his trip, and they're delicious, by the way. But inside of the box, it was weird. There were 2 white boxes like this. They were stacked, and the protein bars were just inside, which it didn't make sense to me because they were all the same kind. It's not like it was trying to keep them separated, so I don't really know why they're packaged that way, but I'm very happy that they were because both boxes were intact and they are the perfect size for my coin purses. So, that was a long explanation. I am sorry, but let me show you what it looks like. I did spend a little time. Sorry, that's what it looks like so far. I'm just going to take this tissue paper out. And I'm going to try to show you without dumping it. I hope that you can see that. I don't know. I got this idea from Pinterest or something. I don't know. I'll unbox it for you. So I wrote a little thank you card to him. I added a little business card, which I made, and I hope he doesn't notice that I just used my own printer. It's not like an official business card or anything, but it just says stay in touch and my information on there. And then here are the beautiful coin purses. I'm so excited. Okay, I have to put the first one on. I'm so excited to show you guys. So this peach color is the first one that I made, and I was testing out the yarn actually, and oh my gosh, that stitch pattern just pops with these colors. I was just amazed. I really wanted to keep this one for myself. And unfortunately, I don't actually have enough of the yarn to make myself another one. Unless I rip out the pot holder, then I will. But as of right now, I don't. But I really, really enjoy this color. And then I actually tried it on this hot pink color, but it was way too dark. I didn't like it. So if you end up making this pattern as soon as it comes out, I would suggest that you use a lighter color because the stitches are just going to pop out more. So here's the purple one. This one was a little bit darker, but I still think that the stitch pattern pops out pretty well. And then I like the blue, and yellow is actually my favorite color, so I'd probably choose the yellow one over the blue. But yeah, I'm so happy with them. And yeah, they all have that squeeze frame closure, and I'm going to be taking these to my dad tomorrow so that he can gift them to his coworker whenever, I don't know. But I'm just so happy to have them done. So I made 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know. I probably made close to 10 of these. So I am an expert at making coin purses now. But yeah, so those are the first two patterns of the collection that I'm hoping to launch in the beginning of June. And then, sorry, I need to take a drink. Oh, sorry, I just get so excited about this. Yeah, I'm just really excited to have another pattern, or like 3 more patterns to release. Yeah, I'm just so excited. So I should actually move these out of the way. Okay. Again, nobody's ever going to show you this on Instagram. It takes so many tries to actually get a version that you like, and it's very, very rare that you get a pattern to actually work perfectly the first time. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Okay, so I guess first off, the first one is just the marguerite stitch. I said 2 panels, and then you add the metal flex frame, and then on this one, what ties those two together is that you have the flex frame and then you have the marguerite stitch. But the bottom, you have a contrast between the 2 different stitches. And you could actually try a contrasting color if you would like. So that's what ties these 2 patterns together. Or like, yeah, those 2 patterns. And then this one, which we're moving on to whips. I'm sorry, I did not say that, I guess. This one is a work in progress. And I haven't finished it yet, but since I'm talking about the collection, we'll move on. And this one also uses the marguerite stitch, and it looks similar to the coin purse because it does have a contrasting base. However, if you notice the way that the marguerite stitch is on both of these, basically if you flip it this way, it looks the same. It's identical, but I wanted to try doing the stitch pattern the other way because I just thought it would look nicer with a little purse / clutch. So I crocheted these 2 panels with the marguerite stitch, and then I tied it off, and then you crochet the bottom part to the separate panels, and then you stitch them all together, and then I will add a flex frame to the top on this one, which I haven't yet because I really hadn't decided whether or not I liked the size. I think I'll go ahead and keep it because I really don't want to rip it out. and I'll just start on a new one if I do. So I just want to complete this one, and then I need to crochet a strap because I was thinking a little, I guess like a little crossbody kind of purse that would just be light enough. I wanted it to hold a sock basically so that I can take this with me whenever I'm out, and I have a cute purse, but I can also be knitting on a sock because that's usually the type of project that I take out with me while I wait in line or whatever. So that was the idea behind this one, and I'm really happy about it. I think it turned out really good. I can't wait to see the finished project or product, I guess. I don't know if it's going to be too tall now with the flex frame because I don't think I added measurements with the flex frame. I just did like how big I wanted it without taking into account that the flex frame will add at least 1 inch to it. But again, I think that it will work out well, will be good. So that's the collection that I'm hoping to launch very soon. Sorry, I need to pick that up. And if you can't tell, I'm just extremely excited to release that. I've been sitting on it for just a month. I thought of this at the very beginning of May, and I crocheted the first 2 very quickly, and then I kind of dragged it out because I was trying to decide on how to write the pattern and what kinds of things I wanted to add in there. But also within the pattern, I'm providing the video and photo resources. So I'm filming tutorials. I already have the Marguerite stitch on my YouTube channel. If you want to see how that stitch pattern is done, then I would definitely go check that one out, and I can link it up here as well. But yeah, I really like that stitch pattern. And then any other technique like sewing on the flex frame and how to seam the pieces together, all of that will be included in the patterns. And then I was also thinking that I might do a small batch of kits to see how those would sell. So it wouldn't be for all 3 items. I think you would just choose 1 item. And then I was thinking of bundling them all together so that you can get all 3 patterns for maybe the price of 1. I don't know, but if you have any recommendations or any opinions on that, if you'd like to see kits, or if you would like a discount on the on all the patterns, then please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you guys because I don't know what you guys want unless you tell me. So that concludes that collection. And I just saw there's one more thing that I want to show you within my finished objects section because I kind of skipped forward. But since I worked on my video for crochet gift ideas for Father's Day today, I wanted to show you my complete card because when I filmed it, I hadn't actually colored it yet. So it looks a little different in the video, but here it is. It's so, I don't know, I think it's cute. Now, honestly, I'm not much of an artist. I don't think, I'm really not very good at drawing, but I found an image on Google Images and I basically copied the whole thing. So I'll add the photo down there so you can see the actual one and you can compare, see if I did well or not. But one of the categories and one of the ideas for Crochet Father's Day gifts is that you can crochet something and glue it onto a card and give it to Dad. You can stuff it, you can, slide it in with another gift, whatever, or just give it like this. So yeah, my dad and I like to go fishing together, and normally we go camping. We try to go once a year. That's kind of how it's worked out in the past few years, but unfortunately he's not going to get to go with my sister and I whenever we go this next week. Otherwise I'd probably be fishing with him if he was going. But he'll get a nice little Father's Day card instead, which that's not till June 20th, I don't think. But yeah, I still have time to find a gift to put this with, but I wanted to show that off because, I don't know, I'm just happy with it. I finished it today and it's really cute, I think. Let me see. Okay, so I forgot to grab that one. Let me go grab that pad or that book or that project really quick. Okay, sorry about the rustling. I know you're gonna hear it. It's in a plastic sack. I've been toting it around with me, trying to get some stuff done on it. Okay, so I actually showed this one in the previous episode, so episode 5 of my podcast, and I really didn't have much done. So I want to show it on here again. Here, let me show it to you first, actually. So it looks like a giant mess right now, but it's really cute. So this is a pattern by, I'm going to put her name up here because I don't want to butcher it, but she's known on Instagram as Fiber Tales. If you haven't checked her out, she has an amazing podcast if you want to go check that out as well, and I really like all her designs. But while I was on Instagram one day, I saw that she was looking for pattern testers for this project, and it was the same time as when I signed up to do the crochet pattern test for Janine Miska, who's Knits and Knots Winnipeg on Instagram, the cardigan that I made, which is featured in previous episodes, if you're interested. But I signed up for these at the same time. I finished the crochet one. I think I had to finish that one by the end of April, so I'm completely done with that one and have been for a while. And then this one, I still don't know when the deadline is. I thought it was the end of May, and I kind of hope it's not. I know that I don't know. I think that there's a few hold-up things with the ease, because it might be too big with the ease, so she was thinking maybe to decrease the stitches. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I should probably check on that now that I think about it. But I've been working on it, and last time I only had the collar done, or whatever that's called, and I've made some progress, which I'm happy, but obviously my time was more spent on those crochet items that I just showed you. I've been working on this a lot the past few days though, and I finally split for the sleeves. So it is a yoke down sweater, I guess. Yeah, because top down sweater, and it's a yoke style, I guess. I don't know the actual term for that. But you cast on here, you start with, I think it was like a 3 or 4x1 ribbing. I think it was 4x1 ribbing. And then you just start stockinette all the way down with the color changes. And then you split for the sleeves, and then I almost said crochet. Knit the body, and then go back and finish off the sleeves. Which I've only knit one sweater in that manner. Actually, that's not true. I think that one was a bottom-up sweater, and it ended up being way, way, way too short. I didn't measure correctly, and I was very impatient. That was one of my first knit projects, actually, so yeah, it kind of shows, but it's not horrible. It still looks like a sweater, at least. But, I guess this is the first top-down sweater I've ever done. And I do like that it's in the rounds. It's so much easier to do that. And yeah, I'm really excited to finish it. Now, this size that she had left to test was extra small. And normally, at least now, I would be a small. But I still have a fairly big bust for a small, because I used to be a medium, and I actually lost quite a bit of weight. I wasn't really trying, but I lost a lot, and I went from being a medium about a year and a half ago, and now I'm a small. So I still don't always know what's going to fit me and what's not, at least in the chest area. So I'm hoping that this one fits me. I haven't really tried to try it on just yet. I probably should. Otherwise, if it doesn't fit me, I know a couple of people that it will fit, and I will just bribe them to come out on a photo shoot with me, and they can keep the sweater for themselves. But I really hope that it does fit me, because I really like the color combination. I wasn't sure about that either, but seeing it actually together, I really enjoy it. So yeah, that's the most recent knitting project that I have been working on. Since I finished my socks, this is what I've been working on. And yeah, that one was by her. And then, okay, sorry, I'm just checking my notes. So, okay, I want to show you this one. And yeah, if only you could see what's in front of me. It's a freaking mess. Okay, I'm going to show you this one. Just because since I am going to be gone for a whole week and I will be in the mountains, staying very comfortably. I'm just kidding. I'm not camping this time. We're actually staying inside. We have a friend that has a condo down there, so he was nice to let us stay there. But I plan on doing a lot of knitting and crocheting and probably computer work since I haven't finished everything for those patterns. But anyway, so I'm taking projects that I have been neglecting. I'm going to take those and try to finish them within the week because I just need to get a move on. I've noticed that I am so slow because whenever I get to a certain point in a project, if it gets difficult or if it just is taking too long, I just stop and then I put it away. So yeah, that's an issue of mine and I'm trying to work on it. I do realize it. I've noticed that, so now I just have to work on it, right? Anyway, so this is a sweater that I started over a year ago, like probably close to like a year and a half ago. I started this because I got really inspired by the Blue Mouse. I can't remember if it's Blue Mouse Knits or just Blue Mouse. I can't even remember her name now. I really, really liked her podcast. I'm really sad that she stopped. But yeah, she was really inspiring to me. She actually made me want to knit socks, and at the time I didn't start, but I'm really glad I did now. Her name was Emily, and she was so sweet. She has a lot of really good tutorials. She helped me on, what was the project I was working on? I can't remember now, but she really helped me visualize and how to do something on a project. I think it was for, what was that for? Oh, okay, so on this sweater that I just showed you, whenever you split for the sleeves, it said to cast on like an additional number of stitches after I put the stitches for the sleeves on hold. I wasn't really sure how to do that, and her podcast, she did have a podcast actually, but her tutorial popped up and it was very, very helpful. So I looked at her channel again, and she does have a lot of tutorials on there, but I think she stopped posting, which I think is really sad. I really enjoyed her podcast, but anyway, I was watching her podcast at the time, and she was very inspiring to me. She's a knitwear designer, and I ended up designing my own sweater. I think I actually did swatch for this one because I wanted to see how the colors came out. I really liked the dip dyed kind of look where, you get the two different colors, and then I really like stripes. I don't know why I have an obsession with stripes because with a large chest, they don't usually look very good. So honestly, I don't know what my obsession is with stripes, but I really like the stripes. And I wasn't sure if I actually wanted to try to figure out the length or the width, the height, I guess, of the stripes throughout the pattern. So what I did was I started, and it's bottom up, I started with the gray, and then I started a purl row. So you kind of get the striping effect with the purl rows. And I don't know if it comes across as striping. It kind of does. I'll put it on in a minute and I'll show you what it looks like. But I actually, looking at it now, it's not so bad. I don't think it's bad. The one thing I don't like is that I used the gray and then I put a row of pearls right above the ribbing. I'm really not a fan of that, but since I was at the beginning, I really don't want to rip it out, so I'll probably just keep it. But if I were to design this now, I don't think I would have done that. I think what I was doing though was like counting the rows rather than like the colors maybe. I probably should have started with the gray and then did the rows like that. And then I also noticed on the sleeve that I did a purl row there, and I'm not sure why because it doesn't even match up with this first one. So I'm gonna have to rip back on that and then start this sleeve over. But yeah, all I have left are the sleeves, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be very doable this coming week. So I'm showing you now so that I will actually have it finished in the next episode. So that's why I put it here. It's been a whip for like I said, like over a year now, probably close to 2. So let's see if I can get it done in the time that I'm gone. So that's a whip. Oh, and then, okay, while I'm talking about projects that have been in the works for a long time, this one's technically a finished object. I'll go ahead and show you. It's a crochet bag, which I was going for a market bag, but I think it looks more like a beach bag. I don't know if you can see those, that pattern there. It's just a pretty mesh pattern. And I actually got this from the Crochet Everywhere Stitch Dictionary. And I remember writing the pattern. So I was trying to use one of those, I forgot what it's called, Stitch Fiddle, I don't remember. But one of those free softwares that you can make charts, like crochet charts. Because I was going to make a chart for how I did the bottom of the bag, how I started it. And it really stopped there. I don't think I ever finished that. And it's really unfortunate because I really, really like the look of this bag, but I didn't find it, or I forgot I had it until I pulled that sweater out of the box. These were in the same one. So now it's my goal to get this one written, and yeah, I want to try a different yarn because I remember holding 2 strands of crochet thread together, which I think is still a good idea, and I really like the weight and the feel of it. But yeah, so hopefully I can try to get this one written up and completed for the next episode as well. And let me check my handy dandy notebook because I can't remember what else. Okay, I think that's all that I should talk about with the projects. So now I will move on to acquisitions. So these are going to be the things that I have acquired throughout the month. So this was my acquisition last month, and inside, sorry for the noise, I have a lot of yarn, but I'll just show you a few. So these are the flex frames. These are what they look like before you actually attach them. So, which this one was for the sunglass case. I think this one was a 4-inch and this one's a 3-inch. But this is what it looks like before you sew it onto the pouch. Let me see if I can open this one. Oh, I'm sorry, some of them get kind of stuck. But this is how it works. So there's a pin in this hinge right here, and that's what's holding these two together. And then once you are ready to close it, you just snap those back, put the hinge back, and then there's a little pin that you put inside of there, and then you use pliers. I don't know if you can see the little lip right there, but you close the flap so that the pin is stuck inside, and then it can flex like that. So I have a ton of these. It's a mess in there, but I have a ton of them because it came with 4 different sizes and I think 10 of each. So I have close to 40, so I need to find some other projects, or if you guys are interested in the kits, I would be more than happy to put some kits together because I have a lot of extras. So that was one acquisition, and then I have 3 yarn acquisitions that I actually forgot about until I was packing today. So I went to Joann, the one in town, and basically all I have here is big box stores to buy my yarn from, which is really sad sometimes, but they do carry the cheaper ones, so it's kind of, you get what you get, and it gives me a lot of practice using these more inexpensive yarns, especially for like the socks. Whenever I first began, I wanted to not waste a skein that's worth like $30, so anyway, I do enjoy those kinds of stores, but I went to Joann and they had yarns on clearance, which is dangerous. I think I was bored one day and I should not have been shopping, but I saw the clearance tags and I was like, those are really good deals. So I ended up with way more yarn than I need, and I broke my my deal with myself where I was going to finish the yarn that's in my stash before I bought any new, but that didn't happen, unfortunately. So I ended up with 3 different kinds of yarn. So this first one is by Buttercream, and it has alpaca in it. I can't remember the content. Oh, it says right there. It's 80% acrylic and 20% alpaca, and it is so stinking soft. It honestly is very similar to Lion Brand's Thick and Quick, because that one's 80% acrylic and 20% wool, but this one is so much softer. I really like this. I only got 2 skeins of it. I thought about getting enough for a full-size blanket just because it is so soft, and I would not mind this on my skin whatsoever, but they didn't have enough skeins in the color that I wanted, so I opted for 2 of these, and I'm thinking maybe hats or something like that. I don't know. But it comes in 130 yards, and it's a number 6 weight super bulky yarn. So I got 2 of these for a good deal. And then I also got this, which is Bernat Strata by Yarnspirations. And this one is called Dove Gray. It's a number 4 weight yarn, so it's medium, and it's 100% acrylic. And this is definitely going to be turned into a blanket. And I have one blanket pattern already, and that is for a knit blanket. But this one I want to try crochet. I haven't really come up with a pattern idea yet. I kind of envision a ribbed blanket with it. But I don't know yet, so we'll see what it turns into, but definitely a blanket. I'll probably take this with me to the mountains too to try to figure something out. And then the last one that I got is, it's raffia, so it's rayon, and it's a number 4 medium weight yarn, and these were on sale, and I like to dream big, so I thought about designing a like a hat, like a sun hat. But then I was like, there's other people that are better at that. Like there's Make and Do Crew, I think, has a hat pattern out there. And then I was looking online, and there was a really good pattern for a sun hat that seemed very simple. So I kind of nixed that idea. I don't think that I'm going to do that. But I thought that this as a market bag would probably look really good. So I might try the bag pattern that I just showed you. I might try this one and see how well it would work with this stitch pattern. And if it does, then hey, I have that pattern done. But otherwise, I might try another version of a market bag and see what it looks like with this yarn. So I do have plans for this yarn, at least. I did make sure to think through what I was going to use it for before I purchased it. But the other thing is, when do I have the time? And I need to make the time to make these things. So anyway, that's like the internal battle I have within myself. So that's why I say that. But yeah, I think that really concludes everything that I have to show, and for this episode at least. Those are all the things that I have been working on, and I'm really sorry if I rambled on way too long. I don't know. If you're still watching this, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of the views, and I'm glad that you at least enjoyed it, because if you made it here, hopefully that means that you enjoyed what I was talking about. And yeah, if you have any opinions about the collection that I have, please put any comments down in the section below. And if you would like to share what kind of projects you are working on at the moment, I would love to hear them. I am always looking for new project ideas and projects to cast on, or start crocheting. I don't know if there's really a term. I guess chain. I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.